Green Avenue Bridge project was 2.5 year project. And so we had a year to build our stakeholder audience, our communities, build those communication channels throughout the regional area. So when we hit that 95-day detour time, we had an engaged audience and informed stakeholders. So we really broke down all of the various elements that contributed to the detour, both operations, communications, community engagement, stakeholder, the technical aspect of the detour, signage, the team, who needs to be involved, and all the regional stakeholders. So a lot of effort took place in the strategic planning ahead of the detour to break down and dissect and organize the various aspects that played into the detour. We had an incredible amount of stakeholder meetings that were organized and separated into different audiences. We had meetings from Aspen to Rifle about what to expect. We had this overall mantra for the 95-day detour: plan ahead, make sure you know where you're going, how you're going to get there, and the use of the various transportation demand management tools. Team up. We needed to get people out of their single family vehicles and into carpools, vans. I remember we had passes for vans where we had employers commit to getting people in vans, and they got a pass to know on the lane that we created. Drive less. We simply needed people to not drive in that 95-day period, whether that meant trying to work from home a couple of days or get on a bicycle or find ways to get around regionally that didn't involve a car. We worked with the school district on finding different routes for pickup and drop off that would make it easier for parents to pick up their kids. There were challenges and operational aspects that took place central to the detour area. We really needed to expand our thinking all the way from Aspen to Parachute to think about the regional work that needed to be done to get the drive less mission accomplished. In the contractor's office, we had a war room, which was key to all the aspects of the operational needs. The war room had every wall covered, schedule, detour. So when we met, we could take a look at what was needed, the operational plan, the various touch points within the detour. We weren't looking at computers. We were looking at plans, looking at the bigger picture of the project, and looking at the project in terms of regional approach. We broke down the area into zones. We had community zones or geographical areas where people could meet up, find each other, carpool from one zone and travel to another zone. So it was a lot easier to communicate what zone are you in, as opposed to what neighborhood you live in, or what street you live in, or what commercial business you are. It was an easy identifier for people to connect, find out where they were in the zone and where they needed to go, and the TDM strategies to move through the detour area. Our local transit organization was a huge partner in this. Lots of employers were involved, stakeholders were involved, because we had this time to build up the trust, to build up our communications in the region, and to prepare for this detour. So when we're ready, we had an army of people behind the mission to have this bridge connection done. There were a lot of people that we had to get on board with the mission to drive less, to reduce traffic.
What this zone system did too is it was almost like building community. A lot of people know their neighbors in Glenwood, but this was pushing people. One of the things that was pretty phenomenal about Roland's leadership during the design phase is a lot of that foundation and groundwork was already laid for us in the construction part of the project. The stakeholder relationships were already being built, the tough conversations, all of that happened in the design phase. From a CDOT perspective, when you look at a team that prioritizes the context sensitive solutions and the public involvement, it is going to make projects run more smoothly. Roland sat me down and he said, there's two places you'll get yourself in trouble, and it's traffic control and it's public engagement, public involvement, public information. And I understood how, if you're a team that prioritizes that, and then you go out and you find a contractor like Granite and RL Wadsworth that also is a team that prioritizes the importance of those things, it was going to help your project move more smoothly.
The contractor really supported the public involvement mission and the communication. I was briefed at all times. There wasn't an aspect of the project that I wasn't aware of. This was critical because then I could start planning, preparing, and finding ways to get ahead of communication needs. So finding the right contractor that buys onto that mission of public involvement is important. What we need from you to get there. So there was a lot of community buy-in to our approach. The reason I was able to do that is because this was a CMGC project. And I was able to work with the contractor on the scope and the budget and projecting what I thought it was going to take to get it done in the contract negotiation stage with the contractor.